Nobody expected the New Orleans Saints to flip the energy of their entire franchise this fast. Just months ago, people were writing them off, saying this rebuild would take years. But one minicamp changed the entire tone. Fans packed the facility like it was game day. Players were loose, locked in, and smiling like they knew something the rest of the league didn't. And right in the center of it all is Kellen Moore, a head coach who isn't just running practice, he's building something deeper. This doesn't look like a team preparing for a long rebuild. This looks like a group quietly loading up to shock the NFC. But here's the twist. It's not just the vibe that's different. Behind the scenes, there are moves being made that signal a full-scale shift in how the Saints want to play football. The old panic-driven, patch-it-together mindset is gone. This team is being built with patience, detail, and purpose. Kellen Moore isn't rushing to fix everything overnight. He's leaning into development, competition, and letting the best players rise. Whether it's team paintball events, full attendance at minicamp, or veterans showing up looking sharper than ever, the message is loud. The Saints are not playing around. This isn't about hype. It's about control, and that control starts with how they handle their offense. Because once you look at the offense, things start to get even more interesting. Alvin Kamara is finally back on the field. Cam Akers just walked into the building. And some tight ends who are supposed to be sidelined are already getting reps. Something's brewing in New Orleans, and it starts with the players touching the ball. Let's talk about what the Saints are quietly building on offense and why it might be more dangerous than anyone realizes. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Saints and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The New Orleans Saints are sending signals that their offense is about to take a serious turn. Alvin Kamara is finally back on the field for the first time this offseason, and his presence alone changes the entire rhythm of this unit. But what really raised eyebrows was the quiet tryout of Cam Akers. A former starting back with nearly 800 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in his last real season of production, Akers isn't showing up for reps if there's no intention behind it. This isn't a depth move. This is a calculated look at a potential weapon or trade asset, and it hints that Kellen Moore isn't fully satisfied with the current running back room. But the backfield isn't the only place shifting. Dallin Holker, after dealing with a minor injury, is already back in position drills and moving well. Foster Moreau, who was injured late last season, is also back doing work off to the side. These tight ends weren't expected to return this early. And if they're ahead of schedule, it means the Saints might finally get the depth and versatility they lacked in this room for years. Kellen Moore's offense depends on matchups, and this group is starting to give him some real options to play with. There's also something brewing with the new faces. Seth Green, a former quarterback turned tight end from the UFL, is in the middle of a quiet tryout. Shane Lemieux, a name familiar to Saints fans, is also back getting looks. These aren't headline additions, but they're strategic. They hint at a coaching staff obsessed with finding pieces that fit, not just names that impress. And the more you study what's happening, the more obvious it becomes. The Saints are quietly reshaping their offense before training camp even starts. But if you think that's the boldest change happening, wait until you hear what's going on with the quarterbacks. Something is brewing under center in New Orleans, and it's turning into the most tightly contested quarterback battle the franchise has seen in years. Tyler Shuck, the rookie with raw power, is quietly stacking good reps. His command in red zone situations, third downs, and pressure scenarios is catching eyes. He's not making highlight throws just to impress, he's executing the playbook, reading defenses, and pushing the ball with control. What stands out most is how calm he looks, like someone who's been preparing for this moment long before it arrived. But Spencer Rattler isn't backing down. He delivered what insiders are calling the best throw of minicamp, a perfect corner route connection to Dante Pettis that had the sideline buzzing. He's showing flashes of what made him a top-tier prospect, and the confidence is real. Rattler thrives on momentum, and he's building it fast. While Shuck brings quiet precision, Rattler brings fire. And that contrast is exactly what's making this decision so difficult for the coaching staff. What nobody's talking about is the risk of letting this battle drag too long. Kellen Moore needs a clear QB1 to maximize every training camp rep and give the offense rhythm before preseason games hit. Right now, both quarterbacks are rotating evenly with the first team, but that can't last much longer. The clock is ticking. And with the offense starting to take shape, whoever leads it needs to be locked in soon. While the offense is still sorting out its identity, the defense is already sending a loud message, especially one rookie who refuses to stay quiet. Kool-Aid McKinstry is making the kind of plays that coaches dream about. During red zone drills, he broke up 2 consecutive passes, showing not just great instincts but a real feel for how to disrupt timing routes. It's rare for a rookie to be targeted this often, but that's only because quarterbacks are testing him, and he's answering every challenge. This isn't just camp hype. McKinstry is giving this defense a serious edge. But it's not a one-man show. Quincy Riley has quietly transitioned from position drills into full team reps, proving he's progressing ahead of schedule. Rico Payton and Alontae Taylor are also in the mix, giving the secondary a young but dangerous energy. And then there's Jonas Sanker. Just a day after snagging an impressive interception in drills, he was mysteriously absent from practice. No official word yet, but his quick impact left a mark, and his sudden disappearance adds a layer of tension the team can't ignore. This group isn't just fast, they're smart, physical, and playing with a chip on their shoulder. The competition in the secondary is pushing everyone to level up, and it's clear the coaching staff is watching closely. With Brandon Staley now overseeing the defense, all eyes are on how these young corners fit into his system. The early signs are promising, but the biggest test is still ahead. Because the Saints don't just need a good defense, they need playmakers. And if the veterans are paying attention, they know the future is already coming for their jobs. But one name missing from full-speed reps might still change how this group lines up. Taysom Hill has always been the wild card in the Saints' playbook, but now he's facing a different kind of challenge time. After suffering a major knee injury late last season, Hill hasn't taken part in any drills so far. He's been visible around camp, watching from the sidelines, but the clearest update is this: there's still no official timetable for his return. At 34 years old, coming back from an ACL tear isn't just about healing, it's about whether his body can still handle the explosive style that made him so dangerous in the first place. What makes this situation even more complicated is how much Kellen Moore still believes in his value. Behind the scenes, there are whispers that Hill will still have quarterback packages when he returns, and that Moore wants to keep his unique skill set alive in the offense. But that only works if Hill is physically ready, and right now, nobody can say for sure when that will be. It's a waiting game, and every day without reps creates more questions than answers. Hidden behind the bigger headlines, the Saints' special teams competition is turning into one of the most surprising storylines of minicamp. Blake Grupe came out firing, hitting all 6 of his kicks, including a booming 61-yard field goal that had teammates buzzing. His consistency and polish from last season are starting to show again, and it's clear he's not letting go of this job easily. But then came Charlie Smith. The rookie from overseas not only matched Grupe's 61-yarder reports, say his kick would have been good from over 70. That kind of leg power is rare, and suddenly, what looked like a secure spot has turned into a serious battle. And the fun didn't stop there. In a light moment that went viral, Justin Reed and Davon Godchaux lined up for field goal attempts of their own. Reed made an extra point. Godchaux, not so much. But while fans laughed and teammates cheered, the message behind these moments was clear. Kellen Moore is building competition, energy, and culture in every part of this team, even the ones that rarely get the spotlight. It's no longer just about offense and defense. Every unit is earning their keep. Now the question flips to you. Who do you think wins the quarterback battle, Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler? And is this the beginning of a real turnaround under Kellen Moore? Drop your predictions in the comments. Like this video if you believe the Saints are finally heading in the right direction. And if you're part of the Black and Gold, make sure you're subscribed, because this team's story is just getting started.